Hello dear students. So today we are going to read lesson number 4. Yesterday in previous video we have I have explained 5 paragraphs. So now I will proceed from there. So paragraph number 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 like that. Okay. So let's okay. So Einstein was highly gifted in mathematics and interested in physics, and after finishing school he decided to study a university in Zurich. But science wasn't the only thing that appealed to dashing young man with the walrus mustache. Liberal means willing understand and respect others. Okay, so dear students, let's start with the paragraph number 6. Actually here he was gifted. You know what? It happens with the children, they are weak in maths. But now if we talk about this child Einstein, he was gifted, means highly gifted by God in mathematics, means for him mathematics was very, means it is a playing thing for him, and as well as maths he was interested in physics also. So after finishing his school, what he did, he decided to study at a university in Zurich. First Munich, then Switzerland, then now he decided to take admission where? In Zurich, in university. Okay. But science was not the only thing that appealed to the dashing young man with the walrus mustache. Means science was not only the thing. He had a very nice mustache. You know what? He has a very walrus mustache, means he looked very dashing. He looked very dashing. Okay. Now you can see the picture of Einstein when he was 20 years old in 1900. At the age of 21, you can see his mustache how he was looking. And now see here in 1955, as we remember him now, see the picture of Einstein. Okay, see the difference between 21 and the old age. This is the difference between old and young. Okay. Now come to the paragraph number 7. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, Mileva Marek, whom he found to be a clever creature. Actually, when he was studying there, so he started loving with a person, and her name was Mileva Marek. He also felt a special interest in a fellow student, means his fellow student's name was Mileva Marek, and he started to love with her. This young Serb, but she was very clever creature. He understood her that she was very clever creature. This young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. Actually, there was a reason that why she had come there. Who had come there? Mileva Marek. She had come there to get education. Because of that, this young Serb had come to Switzerland because the university in Zurich was one of the few in Europe where women could get degrees. Actually, so many colleges were there, so many universities were there, but only few were there where women could get education. So because of that only she left and she came there to get education. Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines, those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. The couple fell in love. Later survive in which they put their affection into words, mixing science with tenderness. Wrote Einstein, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." So here, Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistine. Philistine means this ally means a friend or an associate. Philistine, a word used disapprovingly to talk about people who do not like art, literature or music. It happens with the girls that they always prefer literature, art, music. But here it is just different from other girls. Ms. Mileva Maric, she liked too much science. So because of that only she was there to study. Okay. So Einstein saw in her an ally against the Philistines, those people in his family and at the university with whom he was constantly at odds. Means there she means he could find the difference between other girls and her. Okay. And what was the difference? This was the difference that she was interested in science. So because of that only she was there to study. Okay. The couple fell in love. They started to love together, means they fell in love. Okay. Later survive in which they put together affection into words. So whatever the feelings they both had, they convey their feelings in words, in scientific words. Mixing science, I think you had watched. Did you watch Super 30? In that movie it is given example when that actor wrote a love letter, means his feelings was in a binary digit 0111100 like that. Okay. So just like that, Albert Einstein, he also mixed his feelings in his science and he wrote his feelings and he conveyed his feelings to her. Wrote Einstein, "How happy and proud I shall be when we both have brought our work on relativity to a victorious conclusion." And here they were only talking about what? In their love they were talking about only relativity, means they were talking about only science. And he wrote about that how they would feel proud to work on relativity together. When they will work together, so how they will feel what? Proud. So in 1900 at the age of 21, Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed. He worked as a teaching assistant, gave private lessons and finally secured a job in 1902 as a technical expert in the patent office in Bern. So in 1900, when he was 21 years, so Albert Einstein was a university graduate and unemployed, means he had passed his graduation, but he was unemployed. He did not have work to earn money. So he started working as a teaching assistant and he started to give private lessons. But finally, he secured a job in 1902. In 1900, when he was 21 years old, so at that time he had completed his graduation, but in 1902, he secured a job. Okay. And how he was working? As a technical expert in the patent office in Bern, means he started working as a technical expert. So while he was supposed to be assessing other people's inventions, Einstein was actually developing his own ideas in secret. Actually, he was supposed to work, he was supposed to associate with the people who was inventing, who was doing some experiments. So he was supposed to help them, but while supposing means instead of helping them, he was doing his own work. And what he was developing? He was developing, was actually developing his own ideas in secret. He was developing his own ideas. And what was his ideas? Let's see. He is said to have jokingly called his desk drawer at work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Actually, you know what? He said to have jokingly called his desk, means he had a desk and he draw. He said that what? He called his desk drawer at a work the Bureau of Theoretical Physics. Means totally, means whatever he had done, totally he had done in that desk only, okay, in his drawer. So one of the famous papers of 1905, was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. From this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationships between mass and energy, that is equal to mc square, where m stands for mass and E stands for what? E stands for energy, m stands for mass, and c stands for speed of the light in a vacuum, that is about 3 million kilometer per second. Okay. So one of the famous papers of 1905 was Einstein's special theory of relativity, according to which time and distance are not absolute. Actually, in 1905, it was published in the newspaper about relativity, theory of relativity. And there it was explained about what? That time and distance are not absolute, means both are different. Indeed, two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the time if they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. And he also said, suppose we have two watches here, in one watch here and one watch here, and after 1 hour both will show the same time. But what he said here, he said that two perfectly accurate clocks will not continue to show the same time if they come together again after a journey, if one of them has been moving very fast relative to the other. Means here is a condition, means one should be faster than other. So they will, when they will come together, but they will not show the time, the same time. So it according to this rule. So from this followed the world's most famous formula, which describes the relationship between mass and energy. And now here he invented one formula, and that is very famous among us, that is what? A equal to mc square. Here E stands for what? Energy, M stands for mass, and C stands for what? Speed of light, and which moves in vacuum. And here he gives an example also to understand this formula. What he said, when you sit with a nice girl for 2 hours, it seems like 2 minutes, really it happens with. And when you sit on a hot stove for 2 minutes, it seems like 2 hours. That is relativity. I think you understood better. So this is a very good example from Albert Einstein that he has given. While while Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Unraveling means what? Is starting to fail. What is starting to fail here? Yes, is starting to fail. So while Einstein was solving the most difficult problems in physics, his private life was unraveling. Means actually step means he was just getting success. He was just leading the ladder of success. Okay, he was just climbing the ladder of success. But what happened? If we talk about his personal life was not good. While he was solving the most difficult problems in physics, so at the same time his private life means his personal life was not good. He was fail in personal life. He was good in to solve physics very well, but he was fail to solve his personal life. Okay. Albert had wanted to marry Mileva right after finishing his studies, but his mother was against it. Actually, he loved Mileva Myrick and he wanted to marry with her. He wanted. But what was the problem? Problem was his mother. Whose mother? Albert Einstein's mother. She did not ready to that her son would marry with her. And what was the reason why she was not ready for that? She thought Mileva, who was 3 years older than her son, was too old for him. She was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence. Actually, you know what? The first reason was that Mileva Myrick was 3 years older than Albert Einstein. That was the first reason. And second reason that she was too old for him. And third, she was also bothered by Mileva's intelligence. It happens, no? Just like if both IQ's levels are same, it's okay. If Albert Einstein's level was here and Mileva Myrick level is here, then also it is okay. But now according to his mother, Mileva Myrick's intelligence means her intelligence was here according to her, and Albert Einstein was here. So it was also a reason that she was not ready that her son should marry with her. She is a book like you. She is a book like you, his mother said. Einstein put the wedding off. She was not ready, but Albert Einstein got married with her only. The pair family finally married in January 1903 and had 2 sons. But a few years later, the marriage faltered. Faltered means became weak. Mileva, meanwhile, was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. After years of constant fighting, the couple family finally divorced in 1919. Einstein married his cousin Elsa the same year. He got married. Albert Einstein got married with Mileva Myrick. But what happened? They married in 1903 and they had 2 sons also. In 1900, he was graduated. In 1902, he started working as a technical expert. In 1905, in 1903, he got married with Mileva Myrick. In 1905, he invented that formula E equal to mc square. So, but a few years later, the marriage faltered. Means after 2 or 3 or 5 years later, they were not happy with each other. Okay. So, Mileva meanwhile was losing her intellectual ambition and becoming an unhappy housewife. Actually, you know what? She was also a scientist. She was also good in science. So, because of that, She wanted to do something in her life, but here being a housewife, she could not do anything. So she was losing her intellectual ambition. So because of that only, after years of constant fighting, they have started to fight with each other for their ambition, for their happiness. But what happened? In 1919, they both were separated from each other, means divorced in 1919. And the same year, in 1919, Albert Einstein got married with his cousin named Elsa in the same year. So I think you have understood till here. In next video, I will explain in next paragraphs. So children, thank you so much.